Close the door. Hey, everybody, looking through the glass. So we're doing another twist for today. I have Andre on the phone and Giselle on the phone. They're at their house and they're having some paranormal things going on. So she's gonna bust her house, and she wanted everybody to be on live because last time we got a whole bunch of funky things going on. So if you're interested, listen.
We're just going to keep the phone at the center of the house, which is our kitchen. We go through each room, and so you might hear us be distant. You might hear us be close because we got to walk from one side of the house to the other. But we didn't want to bring the phone and have all the noises. It makes no sense.
All right.
So I'm going to go start in my guest bedroom. I can't show like the light of my brain. But I stand against you with no be gone forever. For this I will say, this is my favorite place, and you will obey. Out the door. Negativity that invades my sacred space, I banish you away with the light of my grace. You have no hold or power here, for I will stand with no fear. Be gone forever. For this I will say, this is my sacred space, and you will obey. Negativity that invades my sacred place. I finish with the light of my grace. You have no power. I say no fear. Be gone forever. For this I will say, this is my sacred place, and you will obey.
Get off my plant. Get off my plant. Get off my plant. Get off my plant. Off my plant.
Negativity that invades my sacred space. I banish you away with the light of my grace. You have no power here, for I stand and face you with no fear. Be gone forever, and this I will say. This is my sacred place, and you will obey.
La la la.
Negativity that invades my sacred space. I banish you away with the light of my grace. You have no hold or power here, for I stand and face you with no fear. Be gone forever, for this I will say. This is my sacred place, and you will obey.
I'm not getting anything over on this on it. Nothing like last time.
Good.
Nothing like last time.
Good.
Where were you last time?
I left her on the couch last time, and I went through every room.
There was all kinds of noises and like you heard her voice after herself taunting. It was weird. But saying different words in her voice. It was weird.
That invades my sacred place. I banish you away with the light of my grace. For I stand and face you with no fear. Be gone forever, for this I will say. This is my sacred place, and you will obey. That was Mom's bell. It scared the crap out of my husband. She didn't bring you into my bedroom. Oh, wow. Wait till I bet you soon.
Who's Betty Sue? Snickers.
I know you're in my closet. Get out of my house. Negativity that invades my sacred faith. I banish you away with the light of my grace. You have no hold or power here, for I stand and face you with no fear. Be gone forever, for this I will say. This is my sacred place, and you will obey. You do not belong here, you shall leave. And you will obey my command.
I would.
You're good. There was no noises or nothing this time.
I'm still not done. I'm only in my bathroom.
Just all you gotta do is go. The whole house heard it.
Yeah, but
Go do your thing.
negativity that invades my sacred space, I banish you away with the light of my grace. You have no hold or power here, for I stand and face you with no fear. Be gone forever. For this I will say, this is my sacred place, and you will obey. These negative energies do not belong here. Negativity that invades my safe space. I banish and away the light of my grace. You have no place on top of here, for I stare in face with no fear. Be gone for this I will stay. This is my sacred place, and you will no beg. Get out of my house. Hold my door. Out you go. Skills, if you're gonna go. Here, done. I shall conclude the smudging of Giselle's house. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
There, I can hear you now.
Sorry, I walked out.
Why'd you walk out?
Because I had to go tell the kids to go do stuff.
Ugh, I feel sick.
Your couch just full on rain.
I'm on live.
Well, we'll believe that nobody's on there right now.
All right. So, what's up, Giselle? Apparently, you've been having some bad paranormal stuff.
So, yeah, so like we talked about last time, last time we did a live, I saged my house at that time. And it was just regular white sage with rosebuds, rose petals. And you heard some things happening. But Andre told me that he saw a black shadow go into our room, go across the dining room table and into our room through the wall.
Really?
And,
Really?
Yeah. And he told me this after I smudged the house. And so we talked about it. And right after I saged the house last time, I all of a sudden had this soreness in my legs because I started working out because I got that hoop that Grandma got me.
Yeah.
And I was, trying to get me on track of doing it every day. And then I smudged the house and I was so sore. Like, I had 2 bruise marks on my thigh, on my left thigh, that looked like somebody took their index finger and their thumb and squeezed as tightly as they possibly can. And it, like, perfect length from each other and just squeezed. And I had a perfect bruise. And don't know where it came from, don't know what it was from, but I was sore right after that. And my legs, my thighs were so sore to the point where it felt like after we hiked Honduras. And like every time I went to sit down.
That was one hell of a hike. If anybody's been to Honduras, you know that it is far from level.
And so my thighs hurt so bad, and I felt they had that same burn, that same pain. Like, I could handle it, I was fine, but I was sore. Like, I didn't want to do anything. Every time I wanted to sit down or get up, I was like, oh my God. And I've been just so drained, just consistently drained every time I get home, every time I wake up in the mornings to get ready for work. And I've been trying to get to where I'm able to get up early, get some stuff done, and then go to work, because I go to work in the afternoons. And I got to the point where I was like, I don't want to leave my bed. I didn't leave the bed. I didn't even want to leave the bed to let the dogs out. And
Wow.
It was like, this is not me. This is not who I am. Why am I, because I'm trying to better myself. It was like something was pushing me back from bettering myself.
Yeah, there's been a lot of talk. There's been a lot of talk about people experiencing all kinds of weird things. A lot of weird things since the eclipse.
Yeah, and like before we got you on the phone, like after you and I hung up the first time, I'm gonna be honest, I got upset, and it was just like I rushed, like overwhelmed, and I was like, what do I do? And I was just really fighting it, and then all of a sudden I started to not feel good. Like I still feel like extremely nauseous. And then before we called you, that's why I had Andre call you, because I was looking at prayers, and I got super dizzy as I was reading the prayers out loud. And he was like, then we need to get this done. And I was like, agreed, calm. And but I was just getting really lightheaded, and I was like, what in the hell? And I've never experienced that way before, because you've always been the one that led
the cleansings.
Yeah, in your home.
Yeah.
Things here in my house, but I don't this strong. I mean, it's not really strong, but this intense of negativity.
Yeah, it's been on a different sort of level recently.
Yeah, and so that's why I was like, because when we did the saging last time, I honestly didn't feel that it did enough. It was a coating. That's what it felt like. It was a coat over everything. I was like,
that's why I like the Pedro Santos more than anything, because it's just better. Yeah. That's okay. The whole world just got to hear my dog bark. My senile dog.
Sounded demonic at first.
So, what did we want to talk about tonight?
Absolutely no idea.
That's what I put on that's what I put. I was like, well, honestly, I can't tell you.
Of the child that committed suicide.
We've been wanting to talk about that, but I've been wanting to go to her house to talk about it in person, but it doesn't seem that it's going to be.
Why wait? So, Andre, get on your phone and call me so you can be heard just as well.
I'm on the phone with you now, with my phone.
Oh, Giselle, get on the phone and call me.
We can't have the phone just between us?
Oh my God, get over sharing shit.
Why I have to call you? Well, that's not going to work, because we're going to echo. Because we're right next to each other.
All right, fine.
I just realized that. So, I'm going to say the name, because who's going to stop me?
Well, apparently it's somebody, because you're not saying it. I don't even know what we're talking about.
You don't know what we're talking about?
No.
There was a little girl that was 13 years old, and she committed suicide.
Okay, thank you. The suicide.
Yes.
Okay.
I apologize to those that word is a very sensitive word to you. For some, I understand that it can be a very strong and powerful word, and some are very still healing from those. But this 13-year-old girl,
I think I have to actually age restrict this one if we're going to talk about that.
Okay, do you not have it age restricted?
No, I do not have it age restricted. So let's not discuss that on this one, because then I think I have to age restrict it.
Okay.
I'm not sure. We'll have to look at the community guidelines.
Yeah, it has to be age restricted.
Yeah. Because, discussing suicide about 13-year-olds should be only discussed, with adults and not with the 13-year-olds that are surviving it. But anyhow.
Well, it's now been said.
Yeah, I am saying it.
But, okay, then we can do another one.
A weekend ago.
About the Matrix stuff. Yeah, about the freaking Matrix stuff. Man, it's crazy. I can't get over there's those two houses that are different. And they're two houses that have always been like one of my favorites. And it's like the only two houses that have been standing out to me for a long time. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
How come it's the two houses that stand out to me? And how many other people are experiencing that? What other, because there's a lot of people experiencing different things. And, like, there's these two houses on a highway by us. And one of them is one of my absolute favorites. And it's got like this big pond on it and this and that. And the way the house sat and it had like big pillars. No, it is not like that anymore. It is a completely different house, sat on a different part of the property. There's like these fences now. It's not the same. And the other one changed multiple times. I don't know what the hell my son is doing right now, but it's irritating me. But yeah, this other one changed multiple times. And it's a house that I've always looked at. Why, how there's other people that have got to be drawn to other houses or other places that have changed, that they noticed a change. And people have been saying, like, since the eclipse, things have been changing.
It's always been changing. It's like that Mandela effect.
Yeah. Hi. Hit the like button. Hit the thumb. The thumb. Hit the thumb. Gosh, hit the thumb. Thank you very much. I was like the worst. Thank you for the heart. But yeah, so you were talking about some other stuff too, Andre.
Yeah, so there was a while back when I used to work at another job, and when my car was broke down, a coworker of mine was giving me a ride to work every day. Bless his heart, by the way.
Very good.
So we were driving down. I forgot the street and all that, but it was coming to a 4-way intersection.
I'll be right back.
And looking straight ahead, me and him simultaneously both looked at this water tower, and it was blue, like almost matching the background of the sky. And it was a clear, sunny day. And then me and him both looked away for a second. Like I looked at whatever, ADHD or whatever, and then we both looked back at it. And then I was like, did you see that? And he looked at me too, and he was like, yeah. He's like, wasn't it blue? And I was like, yeah, like because when we looked back at the tower, it was snow white. So we were both just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I remember you telling me that. I could hear you through the house because the channel's off through the house. So yeah, I remember you telling me that. And then there's been other things that has been going on. If any of you guys have experienced any things like that, the email is in the description. Email us and let us know.
Okay. Yeah, I've had
You answered me.
I've seen a couple of even deja vu moments.
Yeah.
Which deja vu moments are real trippy feelings.
On Christmas Day, I had a really big one. And I was like, no, I've lived this because I remember the exact thought process that I had. I am reliving this moment. It was weird.
Well, one thing I've always considered part of the Matrix is the Mandela effect.
Yeah.
Because we touched base on that a little bit prior, but the Mandela effect, because there's so many people who remember something differently, but it's not just a couple, like one or two people. No, there's like half of the population of people will remember it one way, and half of the people remember it the other way. I actually came across this on one of my feeds the other day, where this lady was talking about one of the brands with the fruits, and where it has the basket in the background.
Yeah.
Well, some people remember having the basket in the background way back in the day, and the company posted a picture of the timelines and their logos throughout the years from when they opened until now. And they're like, we never had the basket. Well, she found a shirt, an old shirt
that actually had it. Yeah, they're gaslighting us.
Exactly.
So they're making us question our own existence, our own lives, our own experiences, and it's a project. It's a test.
Yes, because they were talking about, like, we think of the Mandela effect, and they were like, but now we're starting to find proof of these things existing. Why, and then these companies are gaslighting us. And there's like, and so, like, the people, they're like, so what do you remember of this? And it's like a memory test. And so, yeah, and that's where I started digging really deep.
Well, what did you find?
It was more into, like, what I started to dig into was more like the companies and, their logos and things that we would remember. And, like, another one is the peanut butter. I remember it one way, but for some reason, people remember it a different way. And I kid you not, being a kid, that was what we would buy. And I'm trying to avoid names.
Yeah.
And so I was like, it was, it ended with a Y. And so, and now it's just 3 letters. But now then it ended with a Y. And somebody actually came across an actual old peanut butter jar, and it said what I remember it as.
I'm
And
trying
so
to think of which one it is.
Huh?
I'm trying to think of which one it is.
Starts with a J.
Oh. Yeah, it always had a Y.
Huh?
It always had a Y.
Yes. 2 F's and a Y. Always.
Yeah.
Always. But they're saying that it was never that way. It was always just, what it is now. And that's not, I'm like, that is not true. And that's where it's been these well-known, well-renowned companies, corporates, and everything. It all ties into who owns who.
Well, the question is why are they gaslighting us?
Why are we the only country with issues, with mass issues?
I don't think we're the only country with mass issues. Have you heard of the other places that are being bombed?
Well, I'm talking about issues between the people and the government.
We're not the only ones.
Like, what's happening is, what I'm trying to say is that our government is creating the issues between the people, so that way we're constantly at each other's throat. They're constantly pulling something up to distract us from something that's going on, and from us to unite, because they don't want us to unite.
No, they don't. They never have.
We're constantly fighting about something.
Mm-hmm.
We are constantly divided in what we believe in, which is, I'm okay with us. Can you stop it? I'm okay with us having our own opinions, and that is something what kind of world would we live in if we didn't have our own opinions? Like that.
But you ain't gotta like it. You ain't gotta like it to deal with it. You ain't gotta like it to respect it. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And so,
nobody said you gotta like it.
And so here we are, so conditioned into a way where we are okay with being told this is what you're supposed to like.
We were discussing that this morning. Joey and Christy and I were having a discussion about that this morning when we were talking about, how he was able to accept my drug addiction. And he was like, growing up, there was no, and having past traumas with people that was doing the same thing. He was like, I can't, because it was really difficult for me. He was like, but the conditioning, getting past the conditioning of okay, this is the kind of person you are if you do drugs or whatever.
So it's really funny because driving home last night with Andre, I kind of brought up a conversation with him, and this is really deep. So we go to school, and I had somebody tell me a discussion about Hollow Earth, and he really triggered it. Like, not triggered, but he did trigger my interest. I was like, I never heard about that. Tell me more. And he told me more about it. It was really cool. And I really hope we get him on here one day. And so he was telling me about it. And I was like, that's a really interesting, thing. And I was like, as I was thinking about it, we go to school and they tell us what the earth is made of. What's the core? These are supposed to be facts, correct?
Well,
how do they know what is in the center of the earth?
That's what I always wondered.
because at some point it's too hot for a human to get by, for anything to get by it. So how do we know what's past a certain level of Earth? How do we not know that there's something in the center of the Earth that have other living animals? How do we know if our trenches in our oceans that are so beyond deep aren't the center of the Earth?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, how do we know how deep we can go when we can't even, or into the Earth itself, and we can't even have machines that can handle going to the bottom of the deepest part of the ocean?
Right?
So, I mean, we can barely get machines to go check out the Titanic.
Well, so a while back, Russia actually did a program, funded a program where they started drilling, seeing how far they can drill. And they got like 2 miles deep or something like that. But they weren't able to drill any further than that. The bedrock got too hard.
And that's where I'm like, okay, how? And that's where I go, they're telling us what it is. But how are we supposed?
It's bullshit.
It's supposed to be a fact, but it's not a fact because we don't actually know.
No.
It's a theory. So why are we teaching theories to children?
Why are we saying theories are as facts? Because that's the way we've always done things. Look at how many people went were like really like almost killed for their scientific minds.
Yeah, and then and then another thing popped up because it's gonna go way the fuck out there. I'm starting to see that they might have a somewhat of a point.
Can somewhat see it too. I'm kind of like, because I've never believed in all the crap that I've ever heard. You know, the pyramids and this and that. I'm like, yeah, okay. You guys are funny. Okay, that's what they're made for. Sure. Yeah, I believe you. You know, I've always seen through stuff like that. But yeah, the I don't know so much about the hollow earth, but yeah, the flat earth thing, you know, I'm starting to wonder. That's for sure.
The reason why I question, so the moon, and if I'm wrong, please tell me.
Ow.
The moon is lit up by the sun, correct?
That's what they say.
Okay. And the Earth, the dark side of the moon, is the Earth getting between the sun and the moon, right?
Sure.
Okay. So when it's at a half a moon, why is it a flat line and not curved? Because curved, it would have a curve as a half. You have it as a crescent, but when it hits a half moon, it's flat lined.
I have no idea what you're saying.
Okay, when you go outside and you look at the moon.
Yeah.
And you have your full moon, you have a half moon, you have your new moon, you have, a crescent moon, you have your different phases of moons, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you have a crescent moon, it has, a circle, a curve in it, right?
Yeah.
Only a curve of it is actually lit up. So when it's at a half a moon, half of it's lit up, half of it's not. When it's half a moon,
how come there's no curve in that
half? Why is it a straight line?
Good question. Because it's supposed to be the shadow of the earth, right?
Exactly. Well, at least that's what I remember it as.
Yeah.
And I was, been really curious about that. And it kind of hit me last night because I was looking at the moon as we were driving home, and I'm like, why is the moon, why isn't it curved? Why doesn't that shadow have a curve to it?
That's a good question. That's a really good question.
I still don't believe the whole flat Earth thing. I really don't.
I don't know. I know enough to know that. Yeah, we don't know shit. So.
Well, the only reason why it's round is only because of the water. If you take out the water, I told you so in my own words. I was like, Earth would look like a deformed potato.
And I was telling him, I'm like, if you honestly take everything off of Earth, the water, the trees, everything, it will look like the moon. It will look like Mars.
Yeah.
Because that's what,
Well, they're saying that there's like, they found alien technology on the moon and shit.
Huh.
Yeah. And like body parts, like bones.
Huh.
Yeah. Human remains.
So I was also telling Andre last night about, we had quite the conversation on our way home last night. I was telling him that the whole flat Earth thing, this is pretty, I don't know why my brain went this way, but our mountains in some areas is trenches on the other side for like in the ocean on one side, and there's all the rock that was supposed to be there.
Yeah, like the little hand thing.
Yeah, like you got Mount Everest, which is the highest point in the world, and you have the deepest trench on the other side. What if that's actually the case?
Yeah. So I seen a thing about a woman that was claiming she was an alien. I can't remember what interview with this woman was claiming to be an alien.
Well then.
That's balls, man. That's balls.
There's been footages. I mean, it could be fake. It could be something. It could give us something to think about also, because with reality, you just never know.
Well, no, I actually believe, I've always believed there was aliens here. I'm halfway believe, I think I hear them, but, there's, I know that there's aliens here because there's been people that actually, before they died, are talking about a whole bunch of stuff. Talked about meeting up with several different alien groups and this and that. There's proof that there's aliens here. There's more than enough proof that there's aliens here and aliens have been here. But in Mexico, not too long ago, there were a whole bunch of alien sites. And then there was one in Florida where 300 cops were called to a mall. With, yeah, what did I say?
Mexico.
Well, that was happening in Mexico too. Yeah. There was a whole bunch that happened in Mexico, and then it finally happened in Florida, and nobody's hearing about all this. But I was sitting there, I was like, man, because there's been absolutely nobody's hurt, nobody's been in danger. I couldn't say the words. I couldn't say the words. I couldn't think of them. But they haven't caused any threat or anything. They haven't hurt anybody or attacked anybody or anything. And I was like, I bet you anything that they've been like sitting here making contracts with the human authorities that are in like supposedly doing a good job. And they were supposed to let us know long ago, and they've been in hiding, and now they're supposed to be able to be living free with us now, and that's where we got a whole bunch of technology. That's what I think.
I think that we got a lot of our technology. Well, because you and I talked about this a couple times. Where did the intelligence that created the pyramids and the Aztec and the Inca and, you know.
Oh yeah, no, I am 100% ancient aliens, but I also think that I also have a little bit of starting to believe that aliens and demons might be the same thing.
Maybe.
Ever since I had that dream.
But look at, like, I always question that. Like, look at, you know, the pyramids that have been standing for.
We don't know how long they've been standing there because they've been standing there a lot longer than we've been told.
Exactly. And so it's kind of like, it's been said that the humans put it together, but, and it's like, but where did that technology put, like, all this technology was made back then, and then all of a sudden it's vanished.
There's alien devices, alien technology in the Book of Mormon. There's alien technology in the Bible. There's alien technology that are not of our era. Technology that our era cannot produce now, cannot do now. So there's highways, ancient highways going across the entire, like, South America. You know, there's all kinds of this stuff, and there's no possible way people can sit there and say, oh no, we did it with sticks and stones.
Like, I want to go to Peru because they have some, like,
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
and
yeah.
especially the mountains. It's so interesting, and I'm, like, really curious because they have I was watching. I don't know where I was watching it, but it was a while ago. Where the water, like, the way they had the water go through the mountains and everything, it was like they actually built blocks, and if it started to break, they would replace it.
Yeah, this isn't humans' first time around. I honestly do not feel that we are the first civilization that has had technology. That is,
considering they're able to build homes and houses and you know,
that are
things
still
that
standing to this day. They build major highways going across countries. You know, not just one, but multiple, and like super highways. And they were able to build buildings and I mean, come on, dude. There's no, we cannot do it now.
No, because if you look at houses, they're getting swept away by hurricanes and tornadoes, and, you know, they sit for too long and they're breaking down.
Yeah. These are stones that are placed that you can't even slide a piece of paper through there with no order, no nothing. They're literally made for each other to like Lego clip together, basically.
My brain.
Huh?
I think there was a civilization, and I think it's evidence or possibly proof, like in the with Egypt, because in the pyramids, or, you know, the ancient hieroglyphs, they have these, you know, people, but their heads are like
really elongated, yeah, and their heads are not human. They don't have the sagittal line, the one of the suture lines in our head. Yeah, it's crazy. But we've been on for an hour now. Are we good?
Yeah.
I think that was a yeah.
Yeah.
All right, because this is my third live today, so I'm kind of like, all right, I'm out of it. But we thank you for showing up. Please remember to hit the thumbs up, and share, subscribe, all that wonderful stuff. We also have a TikTok. Look us up on TikTok and Facebook. Also, check out Animals Everywhere 79 on YouTube. We're trying to get that one going up a little bit more so we can actually start doing some charity there. All right. We thank you very much. Until the next time, don't forget to look in through the glass.
Oh, you can join us on July 20th. I had to think about the date. In Dallas. For a survivor's benefit. Well, not a benefit, but
That's this Saturday.
yeah, this Saturday, July 20th. I don't have the information pulled up. I'm sorry.
There we have it on our community post. Please go to our page, and the information is on our community post already. We posted it multiple times. It's also on our Facebook posts. So the information is up there. It is a bike run, and it is for the survivors of suicide. All right. There will be resources there, and maybe you've got stories, or maybe you want to start volunteering, and or maybe you just need to be heard, or maybe you just want to hear. All right. Thank you. We love you for all your support. Till next time.
Bye.
Andre, you gonna say goodbye?
Deuce, deuce.
All right.
I'm trying to poop.
Boopy boopy. Boopy boopy. Till next